Proving America is Rome 2.0, the 10 most famous ancient Roman symbols. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us the truth, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, the Akim and the Akwaf, the brothers and sisters, all right, who are Israelites that have been scattered all around the world, but have returned to the obedience of the scriptures. All right, and in this lesson, I want to go through this article, and as we're going through the article is going into the 10 most famous ancient Roman symbols. All right, now being here in Babylon the Great, okay, Babylon the Great is America. All right, because when you read the scriptures don't just say America. All right, the scriptures has a name for America. All right, the scriptures are written in code. All right, the scriptures and the prophecies are a lot of times written in code, and it's up to the prophets, all right, to basically decipher the code through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, that's Amos, the 3rd chapter, when he talks about the secrets being revealed to the servants, the prophets. All right, one of those secrets is the identity of Babylon the Great in the scriptures. Okay, but let me start here. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, "Surely Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets." Okay, now let me get this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, or 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, "Let a man so account of us as the ministers of Hamashiach and the stewards of the mysteries of the Most High." All right, so the secrets, the understanding of the Bible, all right, the secrets, if you will, all right, when it comes to who's who and what's what, according to the scriptures, all right, that's been given to the prophets. All right, that's been given to the men of the Lord in these times. All right, who the Lord has risen up, and it's been revealed through the Spirit. All right, that America is in fact Babylon the Great. That's plain. All right, that's obvious through the Spirit. All right, when you read, chapters like Revelation 17 and Revelation 18, all right, where it gives you a overview, of what America is like, and then you got other chapters as well, Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, all right, Isaiah 13, all right, Isaiah 19, just to name a few. All right, America is all throughout the scriptures. All right, but the thing is, all right, America is the revived Roman Empire. All right, America is Rome revamped, revived, reincarnated, however you want to put it. All right, we are still living in the Roman Empire. All right, it's just taken on a new form. Okay, and that form is in the form of America, all right, NATO, and the EU. All right, so let's start here. Before I get into the article, let me get this real quick, just to back, what I'm saying, because you can read about it in Daniel 7. So we'll get this in Daniel 7, and we'll also get Revelation 13. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7. It says, "After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly." And when you go into this chapter, the prophet Daniel basically received a roadmap, if you will, of all the kingdoms, all the major kingdoms that would reign on the earth until Yahushua comes back. So when you go through this whole chapter, it touches on the Assyrians, the Babylonians, all right, the Medo-Persians, the Romans, all right, you know, and then it also touches on America further down the chapter, all right, and also the Greeks as well, all right. But we're not going to get into the whole chapter, but this chapter is a very key chapter, all right. So Daniel 7:7, it says, after this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, all right, representing its military might, its military power, all right. And when you go into the history, a lot of Roman weaponry, all right, was made out of iron, all right, which is a superior metal to, some of the other metals that you had going on at the time. It says, it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. All right. And this is talking about Rome. All right. Rome dominated the planet Earth. All right. When it came on the scene, all right, it completely, dominated the known world at that time. All right. And the reason why it was diverse is because of its political system, right? The Senate, the Roman Senate. But we're going to go into that, all right, because when you go into this article, it touches on, the Senate, all right. So we're gonna get some precepts for that. But let me keep reading, because when you read the 8th verse, this 8th verse is talking about America. It said, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, right? Horns represent powers, all right. And America is a little horn in comparison, to, Rome, the Roman Empire in its entirety, considering that, the Roman Empire was, dominant for, a very considerable amount of time, during, from about, you know, 1 AD all the way up until the the Byzantine Roman Empire fell. All right, Rome was dominant. All right, so what is that about? Matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. Let me look that up real quick. So yeah, when you go into the history, all right, the Roman Republic, it says existed from 509 BCE, all right, all the way up until the Western Roman Empire fell in 476 AD. All right, so that right there is about 1,000 years. All right, but even after that, you still had the Eastern Roman Empire. All right, you still had the Eastern Roman Empire. All right, which fell in 1453. Okay, so the Roman Empire was on the scene for a long, long, long time. All right, and in America, all right, America has only been in existence since 1776. All right, so America is a little horn in comparison, to Rome in its entirety. Just the sheer impact it's had, on the history and the planet Earth. All right, but let me read verse 8 again. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. All right, and those three horns represent, all right, the French, the Spanish, and the British. All right, during the time of the 13 colonies, when America was becoming, a nation. Because the 13 colonies were originally just an offshoot of the British Empire until it gained its own footing and revolted. All right, but those three horns are the three nations that the American colonists basically surpassed and defeated. All right, the French and the French-American War, all right, which is also called the 7 Years' War, all right, the Spanish-American War, all right, where America gained the population, more westward, including Texas, right? You go into the Battle of Alamo and things of that nature, all right, and then you got the War of Independence, all right, where America finally, uh, revolted against the mother that bare her, right, which is Great Britain, all right, and I believe that's in Jeremiah 50 where it talks about the mother that bare her. That's talking about Great Britain. All right, but just wanted to touch that real quick. All right, and we'll just go ahead and start going through the article. All right, this is on uh thiswaytoitaly.com, symbols of Rome, right? Your everything guide to Italy, 10 most famous ancient Roman symbols. All right, so when you get the first symbol, all right, I'm gonna share my screen. When you get the first symbol, it's Aquila, all right, and it's an eagle. All right, so the Roman eagle was one of the most famous symbols, and I'll go ahead and read a little bit of it. It says the Aquila was also used as the symbol of the Roman military. Roman legions chose animal symbols to represent their spirit. All right. It says for ancient Romans, the eagle was the king of birds, right? Because the bald eagle, right? You have the bald eagle in America. That's the national bird of America, the bald eagle. Okay, but this eagle, the Aquila, the Roman eagle, all right, was also all right a symbol. All right, connecting the two. So it says for ancient Romans, the eagle was the king of birds. The eagle, known as Aquila, was the symbol of their imperial power, thus representing courage, strength, as well as immortality. This is one of the most important Italian symbols. It was the Roman general and statesman Gaius Marius who, in 102 BC, decided that the Aquila, the eagle, alone should become the divining symbol of Roman power. They picked the eagle to symbolize the Roman Empire and to become the military standard because they determined that Aquila represented that their culture and military treasure. All right, so fast forward to today. Again, you have what? You have the bald eagle, all right, but you also have a multitude of nations around the world that also have an eagle um, in their flag. So, matter of fact, let me see real quick. So I went on Google, all right, and I just typed in, uh, I typed in countries with eagle symbolism, and when you look it up, right, you have a lot of nations with eagles, in their as their mascot, so to speak, right? You got Egypt, Germany, Mexico, all right, the U.S., right, 1782, all right, ancient Egypt, all right, use the eagle, all right, also linking America and Rome to ancient Egypt, right? Because the scriptures say what? They say we shall return to Egypt again on ships, all right? And this is a spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom in Egypt, right? It talks about that in Romans, the 11th chapter, all right? But you also got Poland, right? You have various nations that use the eagle, but all right, the most relevant one is Babylon the Great, all right, America. All right, so let me go back. We'll go to the next symbol. All right, the next symbol is Lupa, the she wolf. All right, and we won't spend too much time on that. All right, um, but that goes more into the when you go into the origin, of Rome. Romulus and Remus. All right, they were nursed by a wolf. All right, it's a myth. It's mythology. It's a fable. All right. It says the she wolf Lupa is a very important figure in Roman history and culture. Legend says that Lupa found the orphan twins, infants Romulus and Remus, the future founders of Rome, and nursed them in her lair in Palatine Hill. All right. And what kind of, why even come up with the myth like that? That shows you the heathen. The heathen are beasts, as the scriptures say. All right. Heathen are beasts. Let me read this. It's Ecclesiastes 3:19. It says, "For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beast, even one thing befalleth them. As one dieth, so dieth the other." Right. And that's the same fate for these kingdoms, these other nations, right? They're gonna die. Right. The same way, right, a dog, right, will run in the street and get hit by a car, right, or do something stupid, because beast animals are impulsive. All right. Animals do have a certain level of knowledge. All right. That Yahweh Bashim Yahushua imputed them because they were all created with a purpose. All right. And a lot of animals can do things that scientists really doesn't even know. But anyways, beasts are impulsive. They're carnal. All right. And so are the heathen. So let me read this again. It says, "For that which befalleth the sons of men," right, the heathen, "falleth beast." Right. Because when you read the scriptures, you have the sons of God, the sons of men, and then the sons of the wicked. All right. The sons of God being the Israelites. So you can understand. All right. The sons of the men being the other nations, and then the sons of the wicked being Esau. All right. Malachi 1:4. It says, "Even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so of the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast for all his vanity." All right. And right now, basically, the world is been pulled into this beast system, right? The beast system, which is, this Esau's power structure, America, NATO, and the EU, right? They've all been lumped in, they've all been sucked in, all right, and have been doing the bidding, all right, of the devil, of Esau. That's why the scriptures talk about, Job 9:4, for the hand of the earth, or for the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, or the power of the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, roughly paraphrasing, right? So all these nations are beasts, man. All right. And it's the spirit that the Rome's origin story, all right, goes into the idea of two twins being suckled by a damn wolf. All right. So let me go down. We'll keep going. It's the third symbol. All right. The third symbol is the fascist. All right. The fascist, which is basically a bundle of sticks with an axe attached to it. All right. And this symbol was brought back, I want to say, during World War II. All right. When Italy and Mussolini, all right, used this. But the thing about this symbol is you can actually find the fascists in the U.S. Senate. All right. In the Senate building. All right. Where I believe, I'm not sure if the House of Representatives and the Senate are two different buildings. But matter of fact, let's go to Google real quick. All right. And you type in fascist. All right. When you type in fascist Senate, you can look, and it has the fascists, all right, in the Senate. Okay. But when you go into that, that was a Roman symbol. All right. Just more, proof through the spirit that Babylon the Great in America, or Babylon the Great, which is America, it is Rome. It's Rome. It's Rome all over again, man. All right. So let me go into this real quick. Let's go back. I'm gonna read it. It says, "Fascist is a bundle of wooden sticks or rods." That's where the term maggots comes from too. All right. It says, "Fascist is a bundle of wooden sticks or rods, an axe with a blade on the view tied together by leather thongs." Taken from the Italian word fascio, which literally means sheaf or bundle. All right. It says, "The fascist was a portable kit Roman lictors used for flogging and decapitation. Roman lictors were the ones who arrested and punished people. All right. So the fascists, all right, the symbol that was used by the Romans and the Etruscans, all right, which is the civilization that was on the Italian peninsula prior to Rome. All right. It was a symbol it was also associated with judgment. All right, with draconian law. All right, it says it was used for flogging and decapitation. All right, and decapitation is coming back. All right, decapitation is coming is here on the shores of America. All right, and that's scriptural. That's scriptural. All right, so let's go real quick. Let's go over here to Revelation 20. Right, because again, it's the spirit that Rome and America used that as a symbol. And we know that decapitation is a future prophecy, all right, in the scriptures. This is Revelation 20 and verse 4. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years." Right. So this verse is going into basically the elect. All right, the elect, the remnant, the individuals that refuse to take the C hip, that refuse to bow down to Esau's NWO. All right, judgment was given unto them, meaning rulership, power. All right, but it mentions that some of them are beheaded. All right, and I'm actually going to go into this word beheaded just for edification's sake. Beheaded, it says pelekizo. It says to cut off with an axe. Boom. To cut off with an axe. All right, and that's what we see on the symbol. All right, the fasci, or the fascists. Okay, that's the third symbol that we can use to connect ancient Rome to Babylon. All right, to America. So going to the fourth one, it says the globe. All right, the globe. All right, let me read this. It says the globus symbolized the ultimate power of rulers and gods over all the dominions of the Roman Empire. All right, and the Roman Empire during that time had conquered what was called the known world, all right, or the world around the Mediterranean, all right, over there in the east. All right, but now today, okay, Esau, all right, and Rome 2.0, all right, they have achieved the ultimate, power over the globe, all right, in the form of, really the internet, all right, the internet, all right. And a matter of fact, when you go into the internet, right, www stands for what? The World Wide Web, all right. When you look it up, when you go into it, www goes into the World Wide Web. But matter of fact, let me look it up real quick just to show you what does www stand for. All right, the World Wide Web, right? www stands for World Wide Web, the globe. All right, which they have power over the globe. All right, through the internet, through these various technologies, right? And then when you go into the symbol for the internet, when you look it up, the symbol for the internet is the globe. But matter of fact, let's look that up. Internet symbol. Boom, there you have it. So the globe. The globe was also a symbol that was used in Rome, but it's still used today. All right, and let me get a precept just to go with that. All right. because you can go to Psalms 19, but there's also one in 2nd Ezra 6. This is Psalm chapter 19 and verse 1. It says, "The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Right, talking about the actual, celestial bodies, the stars, the sun. All right, and when you read the book of Genesis, it tells you that those things were created. All right, basically to keep track, or to tell times. All right, as signals. Okay, that's why you always had, you know, heathen worshiping the stars, right? Like nowadays you got people bugging out over, horoscopes and things of that nature. All right. But all that is going off. All right. The true understanding of the heavens and the stars will be revealed unto us in the kingdom. All right. But it says, verse 2, it says, "Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world." All right. So, this is a layered scripture. All right. But really is going into the word going out. All right. The word going out via the internet. Because when you consider our preaching and our teaching, right, which is on YouTube, on the internet, people all over the world can hear these lessons. All right. And listen, hear the word. All right. But they can also use, the platform to, change the language, to use, captions. All right. To change the words into the language that they understand. All right. Because Israelites were scattered everywhere, all over the planet Earth. So the Lord had the internet created. The internet created to do the heavy lifting of the ministry. All right. Of the gospel being preached. All right. The World Wide Web. All right. So let me get this real quick in 2nd Ezra 6. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 20. It says, "And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished," talking about this current world system. It says, "Then will I show these signs. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see altogether." All right. Now the books being open is talking about the scriptures, the Bible. All right. Because the word biblios means a collection of books. All right. But it says the book shall be open before the firmament. The firmament is the ozone layer, the head in the heavens. All right. And for the internet to exist, you have to have satellites. You have to have satellites, but you also have to have those underwater cables. Those I believe I don't know if it's fiber optic cables. All right, but you got the cables that continent to continent with the internet. Right, that's those lines that we just read about in Psalms 19. Okay, so let me see. Let's go back. All right, you got the globe. All right. The next symbol, the fifth symbol, it says the laurel wreath. All right, the laurel wreath. Okay. Let me see. The laurel wreath. It says Romans so admired the Greek culture that they took myriad ideas from ancient Greek mythology. The wearing of the laurel wreath is one of them. All right, and you'll see the wreath used in the Olympics. All right, so this is telling you that the wreath, wearing the wreath on one's head, that was a Greek custom. All right, which is why when you go into history, you'll sometimes see the term the Greco-Roman Empire. All right, the Roman political system, right, the Senate, all right, which is still, so-called, a so-called democratic republic, right? All right, it's very closely intertwined with Greece, all right, and the Greeks, all right, which the Greeks were Edomites, all right, the Greeks were Edomites, and the Romans, in the beginning were Edomites, all right. So let me share my screen, right? You got the wreath, right, in the Olympics, right? You got Michael Phelps right here, all right. So that's a symbol that's still used, all right. That's a Greco-Roman symbol. Why are they? That's the question. The question is, why are these symbols still being used today? All right. Why can we still see all these symbols throughout our throughout the so-called world today, throughout society today? It's because America is Rome. All right. America is Rome revamped. All right. Along with NATO and the EU. All right. And when you go into the history of the creation of the EU, you have something called the Treaty of Rome. All right. You have the Treaty of Rome. All right. Look that up. You know what I'm saying? Brothers have done a lot of videos on that. Maybe I'll have to do one as well. All right. But the Treaty of Rome is the treaty, all right, that basically created what's called the European Union. All right. Which is, a part of Esau's power structure, the financial aspect of it. Okay. So let me keep reading on this. It says Julius Caesar and other Roman emperors wore laurel wreaths on their heads to show their importance and godly status. Ancient Romans wore laurels to celebrate their military victory. All right. It says laurels were also among the top Italian symbols. These were also worn. These were also worn at Olympic Games as a symbol of victory and honor. All right, so that's the fifth symbol. Okay, let's go back. All right, the sixth, all right, most famous Roman symbol is Draco, the Roman dragon. All right, and I'll probably use this as a picture for the. This is a good picture. It says Draco, the Roman dragon. Okay, and when you read the scriptures and you read about the dragon, all right, that is talking about the Roman Empire. But matter of fact, let's do something real quick. This is let's go through a couple scriptures real quick. This is Revelation chapter 12, right? Because when you go into Revelation 12, that word dragon comes up, right? Like 6 times. All right, so we'll go through it a little bit. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 3. It says, "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head." All right, now that great red dragon represents Rome. All right, which is what we linked up with Daniel the 7th chapter earlier in the lesson. All right, and when you go into, Yahweh Shah being born, right? When it goes into that, all right, it is talking about Rome, but it's also talking about specifically Herod, right, who was the Edomite, all right, trying to have our Lord killed, all right, when he was born. All right, there's a reason why it says the red dragon. All right, Esau's red. Okay, Esau is red. All right, but as we can see, the dragon, the Draco, the Roman dragon, was an actual symbol utilized. Okay, so let's read into it a little bit. It says the Draco, which means dragon or serpent, was a military standard for the Roman cavalry. It was the standard of the cohort, whereas Aquila was the legions. The Draco was worn. The Draco was worn by a horseman called the Draconarius, while the bearer of the Aquila was called the Aquilifier. It says ancient Romans loved dragons so much that every home in ancient Rome was full of the imagery of these kindly beasts in their altars. All right, so Rome's dragons were all over Rome. All right. It says the Draco or Roman dragon was often depicted as having a feisty personality and with a warrior's dignity and nobility. Roman cohorts and cavalry wings adopted the dragon head insignia. It served as a military banner carried on a pole with a wine stock by the Draconari in battle. All right. So, there you have it. All right. There you have it. All right. When the scriptures talk about, the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, and if you look at the sign that brothers use for camp, all right, that shows, Babylon the Great riding upon the beast. All right, that beast that America is riding on is a dragon. All right, because when you go into it, matter of fact, let me get a precept real quick. This is Revelation chapter 13. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his head 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. Right? And the 7 heads is the Greeks, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, the British. All right, Germana Major and Germana Minor. All right, and the 10 horns represent those 10 vassal states. All right, or those 10 Germanic tribes of Western Europe, during the time of the Western Roman Empire. All right, those were there were kingdoms. All right, when Rome expanded, there were people, all right, in those areas who they had to subdue, all right, and reign over. All right, and now the 7 heads and the 10 horns today, again, it represents the NATO and the EU. The NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization it's the military pact, all right, made by those nations. Okay. It says, let me jump down and I'll start at verse 3. Jump down to verse 3. It says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. All right. Because when you go into the history of the Roman Empire, all right, the Western Roman Empire fell. All right, the Western Roman Empire fell in about what they say 476 AD. All right, and then you had the Byzantine, the Eastern Roman Empire, which was ruled by a lot of Jakes, all right, a lot of Israelites. The Byzantine Empire still, continued on in the East. All right, but Rome was able to bounce back. All right, throughout over the course of history in the form of America. All right. It says, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? All right. And the reason why I brought this out, because it says, which gave power unto the beast. All right. America, all right, NATO, the European Union, they're just using the blueprint, all right, that was left. It's just a continuation. All right. So when you read the scriptures and you read about reincarnation, all right, this proves that. This proves reincarnation, right? Because you have the same Edomites coming back, all right, and continuing on, with their, plan for global dominance. All right. So America is nothing new, man. America is new, but it's a continuation, all right, of something that already, existed. So let's go next to the next symbol. This is number 7. It says the Roman toga. All right, the Roman toga. It says the Roman toga was a characteristic loose, draped outer garment worn by men who were citizens of Rome. It consisted of a single wool cloth cut in a semicircle wrapped around the wearer's body and had no fastenings. All right, so you had the toga. All right, and nowadays we have, if you ever been to college, all right, or ever went to university, you have those graduation garments, togas. Those are togas. All right, if you type in toga on Google, or I use DuckDuckGo, but if you type it in, what's going to come up? What's going to come up is togas, is a graduation, the cap and gown. All right, the gown is a toga, man. Proving again, all right, we're still in Rome. All right, that's another one. Okay, let's go to the next one. It says the SPQR. It says one of the most prominent Rome symbols, the SQPR, is an acronym for the emblematic abbreviated phrase Senatus Populusque Romanus. It means the Senate and the people of Rome, which became the motto of Imperial Rome. All right, so the Senate, the symbol for the Senate. All right, and that's what made this beast diverse to the rest. All right, when you read Daniel 7, all right, what made Rome diverse was its political system. All right, its illusion, that it's not, basically a monarchy, right? Because in the ancient world, you had a lot of monarchies, you had a lot of kings, all right, just being authoritarian, all right, with their rule. But Rome, all right, posed the idea of a senate, a council, of representatives, basically, all right, ruled by a Caesar, all right, or a president. Okay, so that is actually mentioned in the scriptures. So let's get that. This is First Maccabees, the 8th chapter. It says, I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, now when Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them, and that they were great men of valor, it was told him also of their wars and the noble acts which they had done among the Galatians, and how they conquered them and brought them under tribute. Right? Going into basically, how Rome was viewed from outsiders during that time. All right, Rome was conquering, various nations, but it was viewed as something different. That's why it's mentioned as being diverse. All right, but let's get right to it. This is verse 15. It says, moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, right, representatives, to the end that they may be well ordered, and that they commit their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them. Right, so there was terms. The Caesars had terms, which was what the presidents have, terms, 4 years. So again, it's the same system. It's the same system all over again. Nothing new under the sun. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. All right. And man, I wanted to bring out a precept earlier, but okay, I'll read this again, because when you look at this image, it's the fascist symbol, right? But then you also have the eagle. You got the eagle coming up again. All right, which is why I wanted to bring out Obadiah 1 and 4. All right. Let me read that real quick. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us arise up against her in battle. Right? So Yahweh Shemal Shai is getting ready to weaponize, all of creation against Esau, Edom. All right, and that's going to start with, all right, World War III. All right, all these other nations are basically getting ready for, the greatest war, the war of all wars. All right, where they get ready to try to knock off Esau, Edom. Okay, this is verse 4. It says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, from thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." All right. So, the scriptures also talk about, the prince of the power of the air, right? The eagle is an apex predator that basically, rules the skies. All right. And in real life, you have Esau, right? The prince of the power of the air, who rules the skies through what? Through his military might. All right. The Air Force, the Space Force. All right. Military power. Okay. So let's go back. All right. The ninth symbol you have is Roman numerals. All right. Roman numerals. All right. And the the Articles of Federation use Roman numerals. All right. So when you go to if you go to Google and you type in Article of the Constitution, all right, you'll see that the United States Constitution, all right, which is what all the colonies basically came together to sign. All right, it's a covenant, an agreement between all the 13 colonies. All right, they use Roman numerals in the Constitution. Why? All right, why do they use Roman numerals in the Constitution? It's because America is Rome. All right, America is Rome. All right, none of these things are coincidences. None of these things are random. All right, Babylon the Great has been identified via the scriptures, or has been identified through the Spirit. America is been made known, made bare through the Spirit for what it is. All right, and then the last symbol you have is the Colosseum. All right, it says the ancient Roman symbol of the Colosseum, sometimes called the Flavian Amphitheater, stands as a testament to the might and splendor of the Roman Empire. The Colosseum is a symbol and a grandeur and strength of the Roman Empire. Or Slaki, it says the Colosseum is a symbol of the grandeur and strength of the Roman Empire. It's a symbol of the ancient Romans' ability to design and build monumental public works for both utilitarian and aesthetic ends, a testament to their mastery of engineering and architecture. All right. So the Colosseum, it's another symbol. All right. And what do we have today? We got stadiums, we got arenas. All right. Where, we got what? All these NFL stadiums, right? NFL, football, baseball, basketball. All right. Those are all Colosseums, man. They're all Colosseums. Same design. All right. Letting you know what? Letting you know that it's the same people running the show. It's the same system. All right. So I just wanted to touch on that article real quick. Lord's willing, this lesson was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.